there, friend. I hope you are having a fantastic day. Welcome to my channel. I'm Angie, and this is Ask Angie, a place for marketing newbies, entrepreneurs, even seasoned professionals who want to grow your business, grow your brand, and make the most out of your marketing efforts. So today we are going to talk about a question that I get asked all the time, and that is, what is SEO? SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization, and that helps the search engine crawlers find your site, understand what it's all about, and then serve up your content to people who are looking for content just like yours all over the internet. There are a lot of really easy tweaks that you can make to your website to improve your SEO. Some of them are great, and some of them will get you a penalty from Google. We call those black hat SEO tactics, and they include things like keyword stuffing or suspicious links that live on your site, even suspicious links on another site pointing back to yours. In my next video, I'll tell you what to avoid, how to find if those suspicious websites are pointing back to your site, and even what to do if you find that you've been penalized by Google. But back to the good stuff. The first step to getting your site ranked, which is the term we use when it shows up in the search results, is to make sure that the search engines can find your site. The best way to do that is to submit your sitemap directly to the search engines. Each search engine has a portal for webmasters where you can upload your sitemap directly. The sitemap is basically like a table of contents for your website, and it indicates every single page on your site. Next, you want to tell the search engines exactly which pages you don't want them to crawl. We do that using a file called a Robots.txt File. Google Search Console has an easy generator to help you generate that file. Why wouldn't you want to have the search engines crawl certain pages? Maybe certain content wouldn't be helpful to users if they came across it in search results. It's important to note that this is not an effective way to block certain confidential or sensitive information. You'll want to use a much more secure method, like requiring a password on certain content. Now that the search engines can find your website, we want to help them understand it. There are certain elements on your site that the algorithms need to look at in order to rank you properly. And if in your Robots.txt file you block certain elements like JavaScript or CSS or images, and it doesn't render to Google's crawlers in the same way that it renders to your users, it's really going to hurt you in the rankings. Next, let's talk about the meta descriptions. If you're using a content management system or a web platform similar to like WordPress or Squarespace or any of the others, they usually make it very easy for you to update your meta description. An accurate meta description includes a concise, clear summary of exactly what the user is going to find on that page. And it's very important for you because that's what users see when they find you in the search results right under that title tag. Now, why wouldn't you just want everyone to land on the site? Getting people who are not interested in your content is actually really bad. Google and the other search engines use something called a bounce rate to determine whether users really like your site or not when they're deciding whether to rank you or not. A high bounce rate is from a number of users who hit your site and then left within 30 seconds. So a good meta description helps users to determine, is that really what they're looking for or not? You also want to use heading tags appropriately in your content. H1, H2, H3. These heading tags highlight really important information, and they also create structure to your content, kind of like an outline. So the search engines look at it and they can determine the hierarchy of what's the most important information and what's not so important. Pro tip, use your H1 tag only once on every page. Your H2 and H3 tags you can use multiple times without confusing the search engine crawlers. Now let's talk about structured data. Structured data is code that you can put on the back end of each page to indicate to the search engines what type of content is located on the page. So this could include things like whether it's a product or hours of operation or videos of your business or your products or recipes or events and so much more. Now what's really cool about this is if you indicate, say for example, that you have a product and you put that in the structured data, and it's maybe a pair of shoes. So when Google looks at that structured data, it will display right in the search results the price that you have listed on that page, any customer reviews, and other information. I don't know if you notice when you go in search results and you'll see the hours of operation listed right there in the search results. That's because those people use structured data. It's a really great tool to use to get those things showing front and center in front of people who are searching for your content. There are so many things we could talk about when it comes to SEO, and we're not going to get to everything here in this basics video. But I did save the best for last. My favorite topic to talk about is keywords, and it's probably the thing you're most familiar with when you think about SEO. Now, it's really important that you use keywords appropriately across your site, and making sure that you use them in the title tags and in the meta descriptions and in the content and even in the alt tags of the images across your site. The most important thing I can tell you about keywords is your keyword research is your most important foundation. So make sure that you look up trends. Google Ads has a really great keyword research tool to find out how people are searching, what the trends are, what the expected trends are in the future, and you can even do some research on your competitors and find out what keywords they're ranking really well for, so you can write content around those keywords. Now, the important thing to know is keyword stuffing is terrible. I know we mentioned that earlier on in the video when we talked about the black hat SEO tactics. So you don't want to stuff keywords. You want to make it sound very natural in the way that people would speak, like you're talking to a human. Because guess what? You are talking to a human. Your users don't want to feel like a bot wrote all of your content on your website. They want to feel like it speaks to them. The other thing that's really important to remember about keywords is every single page on your site should have one keyword that it's optimized for. It can have a number of other secondary keywords that are related and even pointing to other pages that those keywords are ranking for, but don't rank your site for a single keyword across many multiple pages, because what that does is a thing called keyword cannibalization. The algorithms don't know which page is really most relevant for that keyword, so you end up competing with you for your own keywords. All right, I know we have covered a lot of territory in this video, and guess what? We've only scratched the surface. So if you want to know more about SEO and you want to learn how to do it right, first I want you to subscribe, okay? And then any questions that you have about anything I've said, or maybe I didn't clarify, or I said something maybe misspoke, just leave it in the comments. If I've said something that is counterintuitive to how you've been doing things, let me know. We can talk about it. This is Ask Angie, and I'll see you soon.